This angle's a tad awful, but got some of my kids' homeschool books in the mail. That one, no, I'll open them here. Maybe, hold on. This is so much box for just a few books. But I got some Spectrum books, 2nd and 3rd grade math, and some handwriting books. They're all kind of like close to the same level right now, so I'm kind of sharing the books and just giving them each just dropped it, so we kind of get a scale of where everyone's at, and then we'll just stock up on some books in a few months.
TikTok can't stop buzzing about Stephanie Jenkins and her partner Drew, and honestly, it feels less like parenting talk and more like a reality show gone off the rails. What she tried to frame as a heartfelt decision about doing right by her kids has unraveled into a storm of contradictions, finger-pointing, and a tidal wave of public suspicion that's got everyone glued to their screens. Stephanie has positioned herself as the protective mother, constantly telling her followers she just wants to keep her children close, but viewers are no longer convinced. The story playing out isn't about closeness or love, it's starting to look like a power struggle. Every live stream, every rant, every teary explanation seems to reveal something else, something darker, and people are whispering that her real obsession isn't her children's well-being, but her control over the situation. The most unsettling twist? Drew's role in all of this. Instead of grounding the chaos, he's become a shadowy figure in the background, nodding along and occasionally defending Stephanie's choices, but never addressing the bigger issues. Some TikTok sleuths say he's just enabling her, while others suspect he actually disagrees with her, but stays quiet to avoid rocking the boat. Either way, the silence has only fueled speculation, with some followers convinced their marriage is under more strain than they let on. What really set the internet ablaze were the receipts. Old clips resurfaced where Stephanie proudly unboxed stacks of cheap, mismatched workbooks and declared she was ready to homeschool. There was no curriculum, no plan, nothing accredited, just a patchwork of bargain bin material she claimed was better than school. Not long after, her kids were reportedly struggling to keep up once they went back into public classrooms, with teachers noticing gaps so wide they had to re-evaluate their placement levels. That wasn't just a little hiccup, critics say it's evidence of serious academic setbacks. And yet, here she is again, pushing even harder against the system. She's publicly dismissing teachers, scoffing at accredited programs, and framing herself as the ultimate authority on her children's futures. The contradictions pile up. One day she says schools are too rigid, the next she claims teachers don't care, and then she insists no curriculum is trustworthy because she doesn't believe in the institutions behind them. The narrative is shifting constantly, and followers are calling it out as manipulative, confusing, and, in some cases, dangerous. The backlash has gotten so intense that TikTok feels like a courtroom, with every clip, every timeline, and every contradictory statement dissected as if it's evidence. Parents, educators, and even child advocates are chiming in, turning this into more than just internet drama. The debate is bigger now, it's about where the line gets drawn between a parent's right to choose and a child's right to a safe, structured education.
About the positions my children be in as a mother, you feel me? Like, I'm sorry, but I completely disagree with the school system. I think it's absolutely fucking whack that we have our kids running little lives like they're in their own little W-2s. Like, the whole attendance rate and the fact that, like, my kids can't take a sick day without it being marked against them. I think it's absolute bullshit. They're children. They should have absolute freedom when it comes to that, and they shouldn't have this a certain amount of days they need to be in your freaking system. And I think it would be different, in my opinion, if the schools were a little more beneficial. But in the public school system, when you have 30, 40 kids in one classroom, and a lot of times, like, my kids are coming home, I'm teaching them everything that they were supposed to be learning for that day. And I have no problem with that. Like, as a mother, you're a teacher, you're a cook, you're a cleaner, you're everything. And I'm fine with that. But I think that for my kids to be spending 7.5 hours somewhere every day,
And in true gossip-worthy fashion, there's a twist no one saw coming. Some users are starting to claim that this obsession with keeping her kids home might not even be about the kids at all, but about Stephanie's fear of losing her online persona. Her identity as the motel mom is so tied up in her parenting choices that backing down would mean admitting she was wrong, something she's clearly not ready to do. Drew's quiet backing only makes the whole thing murkier. Are they really on the same page, or is this just another performance for the camera? If you thought this was just about a mom wanting to cuddle her kids a little longer, think again. The Stephanie Jenkins storyline has taken a sharp left turn, and the whispers online are way juicier than anything she's putting on camera. What she's selling as a love and motherly instinct is being torn apart by viewers who see it as something else entirely, a full-blown rebellion against rules, order, and anyone who dares tell her no. She's been spinning the same lines on TikTok. I hate being away from my kids all day. School steals their childhood. They don't learn anything anyway. I have to reteach everything. Sure, it sounds emotional. But when you string those excuses together, fans say it's less protective mama bear energy and more like a cover story. And trust me, people in her comments are not holding back. Some are begging her to get her kids professional teachers. Others are straight up asking, Steph, is this really about them, or about your ego? The critics have receipts. Stephanie has admitted more than once that she hasn't enrolled in a single official homeschooling program, hasn't touched state-approved curriculum, and hasn't laid out any structured learning plan. Instead, she just shrugs it off with her favorite line, I know what's best for them. And while that might sound confident to her loyal followers, to everyone else it screams stubborn denial. It's not confidence, it's her digging her heels in deeper, refusing to let anyone with actual training or experience have a say in her kids' education. But here's where the story gets murky and messy in a way only TikTok gossip can. Fans are starting to believe that Stephanie's obsession with keeping her kids close isn't even about education. The bigger theory? It's about keeping prying eyes away. See, public schools don't just teach reading and math. They're staffed with teachers, nurses, and counselors who are legally bound to report if a child shows up hungry, withdrawn, or living in unsafe conditions. And once that clicked with viewers, the puzzle pieces started snapping into place. The motel setup, for example, has been dissected like a crime scene. Eyewitness accounts and live stream receipts describe the Jenkins family, all 7 of them, squeezed into one cluttered room. Followers have clocked scissors, kitchen knives, and even tools just lying around where toddlers could grab them. Meals don't look like meals, more like random snacks pieced together, sometimes barely enough to go around. And the kids? Commenters swear they've spotted them looking drained, half asleep, or zoning out in the background of Stephanie's lives. That's not the picture-perfect family time she claims it is. So when she pushes homeschooling, critics say it's not because she thinks she's a better teacher, it's because it cuts out any outside adults who might sound the alarm. No teachers spotting delayed reading skills. No counselors noticing kids who seem withdrawn. No administrators asking about nutrition or attendance. Just Stephanie, Drew, and their motel walls keeping the rest of the world out. Or, as one viral commenter put it, this isn't homeschooling, it's hiding. And the irony? The more people call her out, the louder she gets. Instead of answering valid concerns, Stephanie gets defensive, doubling down on her belief that she knows best.
And the goal is for them to be learning something during that process. Like, that should be what's happening. But since there's not enough individual attention in the public school system, the kids are literally just going to have this structured day that's planned out for them, and they get no freedom in the sense. And then when you want them to have some freedom, it's marked against them. Like, it just make sense. They're children. Why are we doing this to them? Why are we putting this ridiculous standards on our kids? And I get it. Like, we want to set boundaries and we want them to have good habits as adults. Okay, but I'm not the type of person that thinks you need to sell your soul to whoever you're working with. And that's the kind of perception we're already giving these kids. I mean, because this morning, my daughter said, we're still all, like, I can barely catch my breath. We're still not feeling good. Like, can we just stay home? And I was like, I really wish that was the case, but you guys have already missed set amount of days this year from us not feeling good. And I have to get you guys in there because I don't want you guys in any more trouble with it. And I hate telling my kids that. I hate being like, you can't take care of how you feel right now as a child because you have to go through this stupid system. And my daughter was like, tell the government they can all wear diapers on their head. Like, for real.
She'll look straight into the camera, insist everything at home is perfect, and then, seconds later, viewers will catch glimpses of the chaos behind her. A toddler near a knife, a messy pile of blankets serving as a bed, or a meal that looks more like scraps than dinner. It's like her videos are accidentally exposing the truth she's desperate to cover. Stephanie isn't just skipping lesson plans, she's skipping accountability altogether. No timetable, no structured curriculum, not even a stack of workbooks from Amazon. Instead, she just waves it off with lines like, "We'll figure it out as we go," as if her kid's education is some casual road trip with no map. For moms and dads watching, that line wasn't quirky, it was the final straw. People are whispering that this isn't homeschooling, it's straight up freeloading off her kids' futures. Teachers and child advocates have been practically screaming that you cannot wing it when it comes to literacy, math skills, or emotional development, but Stephanie seems to believe vibes and TikTok live chats are enough. And the money situation? Oh, babe, that's where it gets juicy. While she cries broke in one video, in the very next she's unboxing skincare, flashing new nails, or showing off dinner dates. Meanwhile, those kids don't even have the basics, pencils, notebooks, nothing. The hypocrisy is glaring. It's giving soft life for me, survival mode for the kids. Fans aren't letting it slide either. The hashtags are blowing up, hashtag protect the kids, hashtag justice for the Jenkins, and they're everywhere. Comment sections are absolutely dragging her. Former fans who once defended her are now stitching old clips and pointing out lie after lie, exposing receipts, even compiling Stephanie timeline videos with side-by-side comparisons of her excuses versus her reality. And let's not forget the fallout with brands. Sponsors are ghosting her faster than an ex after Valentine's Day. Campaigns she used to brag about are being deleted, and companies are quietly erasing her from promo posts, desperate to not get caught up in this mess. Even big creators, people with serious followings, are piling on. They're breaking down her live streams, zooming into contradictions, and spelling out exactly how dangerous this all looks for her kids. The story isn't just on TikTok anymore, it's spilled into Facebook groups, parenting forums, and even smaller news outlets. Everywhere you look, there's another thread dissecting her life, analyzing her motives, and questioning whether this is negligence disguised as motherly love. What started as just another TikTok mom drama has turned into a full-blown public trial. Millions are tuning in daily, documenting every move she makes, waiting to see if she doubles down or finally faces consequences. And the real kicker? It's no longer about Stephanie at all, it's about the bigger, scarier question: what happens when children become collateral damage in their parents' chase for clout? And there you have it, the tea just keeps pouring and it is scalding. What do you guys think? Are Stephanie and Drew just misunderstood parents, or is this a full-on case of clout chasing at the expense of their kids? Drop your thoughts down below, because this debate is only getting hotter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next chapter of this drama, because trust me, this story is far from over.